All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called The Uncanny, 1977. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was all right. This is going to be another Adrian mission. It's got a bunch of horror icons. Peter Cushing, Ray Milland, Donald Pleasence, Samantha Eggar, who's great in The Brood, John Vernon, who I just saw in an episode of Tales from the Crypt season 4. I think he was the one who ripped out the heart of that corrupt gypsy woman, or whatever her name was. I don't even remember. Some of these actors' names in Tales from the Crypt, I do not recognize. And even the Crypt Keeper makes a joke about it on Disc 3 bonus features when he's talking about the actors and their caliber. Pretty surprising that Tom Hanks and Brad Pitt are in it. I wasn't expecting that. Anyways, The Uncanny. Well, I saw Ray Milland and Frogs, and I hated that movie. This one's kind of similar. The murderers are a bunch of cats. So Peter Cushing's writing a book. He's a horror writer. He stumbled upon a terrible secret that captures supernatural creatures who eat human flesh. And they call the shots. When they don't get their way, they're very nasty. So he wants to publish his books to tell the secret of the supernatural, vicious nature of cats. So he goes to Peter Cushing's house to try to convince him to publish his book. Ray Milland. He goes to Ray Milland's house. Peter Cushing goes to Ray Milland's house to convince him to publish a book. There just happens to be a cat there. And Peter Cushing is scared to death of cats. And as he's walking to Ray Milland's house, you see a bunch of cats leering at him and going, Ray! Anyways, it's not a great horror flick. It gets 5.7 out of 10. I'm actually rating it a little bit higher. I'm being generous, giving it 3 out of 5, which equates to 6 out of 10. It gets 1,800 ratings, so it's a pretty well-known horror flick for 1977. I guess people watch it because it's kind of like Tales from the Crypt incident. Peter Cushing's telling 3 stories of how cats attack people. And the first one, it's about an old lady who had a stroke. She's bedridden, and she writes her will. Her last dying wishes is to deny her nephew, her greedy nephew, the the inheritance, and to give it to her cats instead. So she's got the attorney there on her deathbed, and the attorney redraws the will, puts a copy in her safe behind a painting or something, and she's got the combination hidden under her pillow. But the maid knows what's going on. She's having an affair with the nephew guy. She wants to get rich too from this old lady. So she steals the one copy from the attorney's briefcase, while he's distracted somehow. And then she gets the combination, takes out the will, but the cats start attacking her, and she manages to smother the old lady killer with the pillow. Then the cats start eating the old lady. And there's a little bit of gore in this one, kind of surprising. I think that's the only reason why I like this. I thought Donald Pleasence was kind of funny with his one-liners in the third story, and second one wasn't that great. It had a little bit of gore. That was the only good part. The second one was pretty decent. Anyways, getting back to the first story. So after the cats attack her, she hides in the kitchen for a couple days. Then she tries to go back for a will, and the cats kill her at the bottom of the staircase. They're like jumping on her. It didn't look very convincing, but what can you do with cats? I mean, you can't really train them how to jump on people. It must have been a difficult job for the animal wrangler on this film. Kind of felt sorry for that person. Anyways, so the nephew shows up with the police and the attorney. The nephew tries to grab the will. He ends up getting his neck chewed out. He's dead. And Peter Cushing saying it's all the cat's fault, but Ray Milland's not buying it. He keeps saying there's a million explanations why it could have been something else. All right, so the second story is about this little girl in Quebec. Her parents died, so she's living with her mean aunt who doesn't like cats. Go figure. And there's an older girl, a taller girl, who's taunting her with their toy airplane, and the cat doesn't like her at all. But the cat likes the smaller girl instead. So so they try to take the cat to the pound because it's leaving cat hairs all over the place. And the taller girl keeps blaming all of the smaller girl's problems on the cat to her parents. And her parents are like, okay, we're going to take the cat to the pound. But for some reason, don't ask me how, the cat comes back from the pound and is ready to do some black magic, because apparently her mother was into black magic, so she's got all these occult books. So she writes a pentagram on the floor, and she gets the taller girl to stand in the middle of the pentagram. Looks like scene from Dark Shadows. This is actually my favorite vignette. I thought Ray Milland was pretty funny with his one-liners too. Ray Milland and Donald Pleasence are the reason to watch this. Really, it's kind of a silly, funny, goofy horror movie with a little bit of gore, I guess you could say. Anyways, so she stands in the middle of the pentagram. She starts shrinking in size. The cat attacks her like she's a mouse or something, but she hides under their bed and pokes it with a pencil. Pokes it in the face with a pencil. So the cat's bleeding. It's hurt. It retreats to the background. And And then, and then the shorter kid, who's now suddenly much taller, just steps on the girl. And the mother thinks it's she spilled paint on the floor after she just smooshed her daughter with her shoe. The third story has John Vernon and Samantha Eggar. Donald Pleasence murders his actress wife with a real blade on the set instead of the rubber blade. He's acting in a horror flick so that he can get together with Samantha Eggar, get her in a part for the horror movie to take over for his wife. And the day of her death, they're like celebrating inside of Donald Pleasence's house. But of course, there's a cat watching. And the Samantha Eggar is totally incompetent. She can't even scream or do a love scene in the movie. So John Vernon, the producer, he's going like this, head palm. What did I do to deserve this? And the cat wants to get revenge. So the cat tries to. It seems like the cat is at the house and the movie set at the same time. It's weird. Anyways, so the cat goes to the movie set somehow really fast, and he cuts the cord to the lighting, the lights that are hanging, and the lights come crashing, almost kill Donald Pleasence. So Donald Pleasence tried to set a mouse trap or something, but the cat escapes somehow. I don't know what's going on in the third one, but I think I like the second one the best. Anyways, and I thought Ray Milland was funny. So the screaming bit with Samantha Eggar, she's supposed to be in like an Iron Maiden kind of thing. So Donald Pleasence is trying to make up excuses to John Vernon. Oh, just let me rehearse with her. I'll teach her how to do her job. Blah, blah, blah. Just give me one more day. And John Vernon just says, okay. So they try to rehearse the Iron Maiden bit, but once again, the cat lets go of the cord, and the Iron Maiden closes on Samantha Eggar. There's red paint, blood. It looked like the blood from Blood Feast all over the place. Samantha Eggar got Iron Maiden by the cat. Anyways. Donald Pleasence, the cat literally rips out Donald Pleasence's tongue, and somehow that makes him die. That's the third one. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but it is with Ray Milland and Peter Cushing. It was a disappointing ending. I didn't like it. Anyways, going through my Netflix. I lied in my skyscraper video, which got 22 comments. Holy cow. Oh, by the way, Adrian, you missed out on Karate Man. He was in the chat room. He made his weekly pit stop to my channel. It used to be daily. Now it's weekly. But I think he was excited when I started talking about Ian Jacklin for like 30 minutes because I didn't know hardly anything about Ian Jacklin before I saw Deathmatch. And then he starts mentioning all these kickboxer sequels that he's crazy about, which I don't have access to, unfortunately. But cool. It was good to see Karate Man in the chat room. I told my son, Adrian keeps asking, where's Karate Man? I said, well, he was in the chat room for 30 minutes. All right, so I've got Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which looks like a really bad 1968 rated G movie. It's like a kid's television movie from when I was growing up. It was probably on TV, and I saw it when I was a kid. 2 hours and 25 minutes. That's going to be torture. So that's probably coming Monday, I'm guessing. Then I've got A Night at the Opera, 1935, Marx Brothers, and The Prowler, 1981. Pieces probably won't come till the following week. And it's going to be crazy. Coming up next week, I've got to work Sunday because he's going to be with his insane wokester Chinese family for an entire week. So that means I get to work Sunday. So I'll be working 2 shifts on Friday, 2 shifts on Saturday, 2 shifts on Sunday, 2 shifts on Monday, and 1 shift on Tuesdays. That's potentially 68 hours in 5 days. It's an insane schedule. It means I'm going to be getting three hours of sleep for 5 days straight, probably. I'm going to be taking long naps in my car in between my shifts, depending on how long my first shift goes. I did pretty decent yesterday. I got almost 14 hours. They gave me halfway decent routes. Still not what I was expecting, but not bad for a Saturday. I think I worked a little over 45 hours last week, which is better than the previous week, but still not nearly as much as I was working, say, a couple of weeks ago when I was making when I was hitting like 52 hours a week, something crazy. And the FedEx job fell through. I canceled my appointment for next Wednesday because they told me on Indeed that it would be in Daly City or San Francisco. When I go to apply on their website and it says Oakland, I'm not commuting to Oakland to work for 4 hours, pay $7 bridge toll to work for 4 hours at like $23 an hour. Forget it. Especially if it's graveyard. I won't get any sleep and I have to pay bridge toll. Oh, my son just gave me thumbs up. He's checking out the YouTube videos. Cool. I gave him pizza and he had chicken, but he didn't eat much. I think the flavor was missing from the chicken or something. But I got ramen here. I tried to eat it, and I just drank the soup. I had hot and sour soup for breakfast, and then chicken for lunch. And now he's got pizza, and I drank the ramen soup. So that was those are the 4 main food groups. Hot and sour soup, chicken, pizza, and ramen. The 4 main food groups. Cool. Anyways, that's my second and last review for today. I can't say highly recommend it or check it out. The only stuff that I really enjoyed watching were the Tales from the Crypt episodes from season 4. Wow. Those really blew my socks off, man. The amount of gore and nudity in that really surprised me, even for HBO. They really pushed the envelope. Even the Crypt Keeper was bragging about it. And, pretty cool stuff, man. I love Tales from the Crypt TV show. I would go through my list, but I've already been through it 1,000 times. I don't want to bore you. But what's the next one that's on my list? Let's just talk about that. Coming up next. Maybe I'll watch about 10 minutes before I drive him home. His mother calls me in right when I'm at Safeway next to his house. Oh, this is not a test, 1962. That's a Professor Quiz mention. Let me click on that. I think Professor Quiz recommended this after I did another Ray Milland, Frankie Avalon. Nuclear war dystopian flick. Yeah, this one's an hour and 12 minutes. Not bad. All right. So, like I said, I was in my car at Safeway. I just bought some vitamin C. By the way, my checking account keeps going lower. I think it's down to about 700. And I've got to. Wow. This is not a test started playing. Cool. So I'm in the parking lot. I got my vitamin C. It cost me $20 for a huge bottle of 500 milligram vitamin C pills. All right. Which is a bargain. I mean, Safeway probably has the cheap vitamin C pills. But I take about 10,000 milligrams a day. He takes about 5,000. And so we go through that bottle pretty fast. And that's why it's so expensive. And that's why inflation is so bad in the U.S. I think it's the worst in 40 years. People are struggling here. But they want to be distracted by the insurrection hearings. I'll be damned if I watch those. I'd rather watch Tucker Carlson or something. Anyways, so I'm sitting in my car and she leaves me a voicemail. For some reason, I don't have ringtone on my phone, so I always get voicemail and texts like later than when they first initiated. So I listened to the voicemail, and she's telling me to wait 30 minutes to pick him up because he had. And then I call her, and I say, "What the heck? I'm here already, and you're telling me to wait 30 minutes? I don't. You're talking nonsense to me," which has been the story of my relationship with her for the past 15 years. And after telling her twice that she's nonsensical, and she makes up this excuse that she had a big blanket. My son told me that her half sister was yelling and he couldn't sleep. She just made up a story that the blanket was too big and he was too hot. He couldn't sleep. So that was a story with. That was a drama that played out this morning when I tried to pick him up. And so she wakes him up right at the time when I'm supposed to pick him up. And so I'm waiting outside for like 20 minutes for him to brush his teeth and eat breakfast or whatever. It was nuts. He should just get his own alarm clock and set it himself instead of relying on his mother to wake him up. That's my solution to the problem. But just my 2 cents, worth nothing after inflation. Cool. It was nice to see Karate Man. I'm about to watch another Professor Quiz recommendation. He's been getting into the action, posting a lot of comments. So thank you for that, laters.